There is an ancient technique, older than writing, older than cities, older than history itself, a method our ancestors used not just to survive, but to awaken something within. It was practiced in caves lit by firelight, whispered through initiation rituals, and carried across deserts, mountains, and jungles. Today, neuroscientists call it a way of rewiring your brain. Mystics call it unlocking the hidden self. To you, it may feel like discovering an entire world inside your mind you never knew was there. Listen closely. There is something older than history, older than the first fire carved into the night, older than language itself. An ancient technique, passed silently from breath to breath, from heartbeat to heartbeat, long before it was ever written down. Our ancestors did not name it. They did not teach it with words. They lived it. They embodied it. They carried it inside their bones. Imagine the world 7 million years ago. The savanna stretched wide, dry grasses hissing in the wind, the air heavy with dust and scent of predators. Small bands of early humans, not yet masters of their world, but fragile creatures pressed against the endless dangers of hunger, storms, and teeth in the night. Every sound mattered. Every shift of air carried a warning. To survive here, you did not just need strength of body, you needed something else, something hidden inside. And this is where it begins. Picture a small fire flickering inside a cave. Shadows crawl along the walls. 5 figures huddle around it, heavy-browed, their bodies wrapped in ragged skins. They are silent, listening, waiting. Outside, hyenas pace in the dark, jaws snapping, laughter carrying on the wind. The tribe knows fear, knows hunger. But there is one among them, the elder, bones thin, hair gone silver, who begins to breathe. Slowly, deeply, a rhythm steady as a drum. The others watch. Their own breaths begin to fall into step with his. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. The rhythm grows deeper, slower. Fear loosens its grip. The mind shifts. The body changes. Something ancient begins to awaken. This was the first doorway. A simple act, conscious breath, that shifted the tribe from panic to presence, from chaos to focus. The elder had learned it through years of survival. When storms struck, when hunger gnawed, when predators closed in, he did not collapse into fear. He entered this state. Breath became the anchor, and in that altered rhythm of lungs and blood, new awareness rose like dawn. And this is the first truth of the technique. You are not just your fear. You are not just the chaos of thought. Beneath the noise of survival, there is a deeper layer, waiting to be opened. The tribe began to copy him. Night after night, they would gather, breathing together. At first, it was only survival, keeping fear at bay. But something else began to happen. Visions, memories, insights. When the body slowed and the breath deepened, strange images surfaced. Faces of ancestors, patterns in the fire, whispers of intuition that seemed to guide the hunters to water or warn the mothers of storms before the clouds appeared. Was it magic? Was it myth? Or was it something else? Today, neuroscientists would call it a shift into theta states, the same brain waves that appear in deep meditation and early dreaming. Anthropologists would call it the beginnings of ritual consciousness. But for those first humans, there was no name, no science, only the experience of stepping into a deeper mind, and so it spread. Across deserts, into jungles, through mountain passes, every tribe found their way to it. Some through breath, some through rhythmic movement, stamping feet against the earth until the body dissolved into trance. Some through the steady beat of drums, imitating the pulse of the heart. Different forms, but the same doorway. A technique not learned through words, but through doing, through surrender. It was not a luxury, it was survival. Think of a hunter on the edge of the tall grass. He knows lions stalk nearby. His body trembles with adrenaline. If he panics, he dies. But if he slows his breath, lowers his heart, sharpens his senses, he can walk between the shadows unseen. This was not just meditation. It was a weapon, a shield, a secret advantage in a world that wanted him dead. And here is the second truth of the technique. It does not belong to monks or mystics alone. It belongs to survival, to you, to every human who has ever faced fear, hunger, or uncertainty. Centuries later, these practices would evolve into ritual. Firelight ceremonies, chants, dances that lasted through the night. But at its core, it remained the same. A method to unlock the hidden layers of mind, where intuition, creativity, and resilience sleep. Modern science is only now beginning to catch up. Studies show how conscious breath alters the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the blood, shifting chemistry, calming the amygdala, and opening pathways to memory and imagination. Rhythmic movement synchronizes the two hemispheres of the brain. Sensory withdrawal, the quiet of caves, the darkness of closed eyes, stimulates deep memory retrieval. What our ancestors discovered by necessity, we now measure with electrodes. But here's the paradox. We've forgotten how to live it. In the modern world, breath is shallow. Movement is mechanical. Silence is drowned out by endless noise. We scroll, we distract, we scatter our minds in 1,000 directions. The ancient technique lies buried, unused, like a muscle left to waste, and yet it waits. You can reclaim it. Right now, with nothing more than your body, your breath, your attention, the same way a prehistoric child once sat by a fire, watching their elder breathe, and felt the first shift inside their chest. Close your eyes. Even now, feel the weight of your body. Listen to the air entering your lungs. Slow it. Inhale deeply. Hold. Exhale slowly. Again, again. Do you feel it? That shift? That loosening? That quiet beneath the noise? That is the doorway. The same doorway walked by hunters and shamans, mothers and elders 7 million years ago. The same doorway that can lead you into hidden layers of memory, intuition, and self. The elder by the fire knew nothing of brainwaves. He knew only that this technique worked, that it could keep his people alive, that it could bring visions that guided them, that it could calm storms of fear before they became madness. And now, you know too. The first step is simple. Breathe. Slow. Deep. Rhythmic. But this is only the beginning. The ancient technique has more layers, each opening to the next, like doors in a long-forgotten temple. Breath leads to vision. Vision leads to memory. Memory leads to transformation. But before you learn the practice, you must understand the journey. And the journey begins by remembering what we lost. The forgotten origins. The story of how fear forced us to awaken, how the savannah carved resilience into our bones, and how our ancestors discovered the mind was not just a prison of instinct, but a tool, vast and hidden. This is what waits for you if you step inside. The hidden layers, the deeper self, the ancient technique, and in the next part, we will reveal it, step by step, so you can practice it yourself. You already know the doorway. You felt it in your own body when you slowed your breath, when you listened to the silence inside. That is where it begins. But the ancient technique does not stop at a single breath. Breath is only the key. To walk fully into the hidden layers of your mind, there are steps, each carved by trial, survival, and ritual across millions of years. The elders knew this. They didn't write it. They couldn't. They carried it inside themselves, taught only by doing. Tonight, you will learn what they learned, not as history, but as practice. Because you carry the same body, the same lungs, the same brain, the same nervous system. The ancient technique belongs to you. There are 4 stages, 4 layers. Each one leads into the next. You cannot skip them. You cannot fake them. They must be lived, breathed, entered with full presence. Listen closely. Stage 1. The breath of survival. The first stage is breath. Not the shallow sip of air most people take, not the restless panting of modern life. Ancient breath, the breath of survival. Begin seated, spine straight, body grounded. Feel your weight pressing into the earth beneath you, as if your bones remember the soil they came from. Place one hand on your chest, the other on your belly. Now inhale, slow, steady, pulling the air deep into your belly. Hold it just for a heartbeat. Then release, longer than the inhale. A soft collapse, a surrender. Again, again. This rhythm changes the body. The heart slows. The blood shifts. The brain begins to move into lower frequencies, unlocking doorways usually hidden. For our ancestors, this meant survival, fear quieted, senses sharpened. For you, it means stillness, clarity, the silence beneath the noise. Do this for minutes. Do this until the body melts, until the mind softens. Only then does the first doorway open. Stage 2, the fire of rhythm, but breath alone was not enough. On the savannah, humans needed more than calm. They needed focus. They needed vision. This came from rhythm. Picture a circle of bodies around a fire, sticks striking stones, feet stamping earth. The sound is steady, relentless, pulsing like a second heart. Each body joins the beat, movements rough but unified, and soon the rhythm takes over. Thought dissolves. The body becomes the drum. You can recreate this. Once the breath steadies, add rhythm. Strike your hands against your thighs, clap, tap a stick against the floor, anything. What matters is the pulse, a rhythm that does not break. Match your breath to it. Inhale on the beat, exhale on the beat. As minutes pass, something happens. The body begins to sway. The mind loosens its grip. You enter the second layer. This is trance, not sleep, not wakefulness, but a state between. In this place, ideas rise unbidden. Images flicker in the mind's eye. Intuition sharpens. Creativity awakens. The ancients used it to find direction, where to hunt, when to migrate, how to heal. You can use it to unlock the buried intelligence inside you, the silent wisdom you forgot was yours. Stage 3. The descent into silence. After rhythm comes silence. Not the silence of an empty room, but the deep silence of caves, of midnight, of still water. Our ancestors knew this too. They entered caves not only to hide, but to awaken. In darkness, with no distraction, the mind begins to show its hidden layers. You can do this yourself. Once the body is softened with breath, once rhythm has loosened your grip on thought, close your eyes. Sit in darkness. Withdraw your senses. Hear only your breath. Feel only your body. No light, no sound, no distraction. At first it will be restless. Your mind will chatter, protest, scream. But stay. Stay until the noise fades. Stay until images begin to rise. Not the random flickers of thought, but deeper visions, symbols, fragments of memory, insights that feel older than you. This is the descent. The third layer, a place where memory and imagination intertwine. For the hunter, it meant visions of prey. For the mother, warnings of danger. For the elder, wisdom to guide the tribe. For you, it will be what you most need if you are willing to see. Stage 4. The return. And here is the most important stage, the return. The ancients knew it. They did not just stay in trance, in vision, in silence. They came back. They brought what they saw into the firelight, into the tribe, into the world of survival. You must do the same. After breath, after rhythm, after silence, return. Open your eyes. Write what you saw. Move your body. Speak aloud if you can. Anchor the insights into something solid. Without this, the visions vanish like smoke, leaving nothing but memory. The return is not just ending practice, it is transformation. The ancients danced their visions, painted them on stone, carved them into bone. You can write, draw, sing, or move. Make it real. That is how the hidden layers of your mind reshape the waking world. And this is the ancient technique. Revealed, breath, rhythm, silence, return. 4 doors, one after another, leading into the hidden self. But knowing is not enough. You must practice. The elder by the fire practiced for decades. The tribe practiced every night. It was not an exercise, it was a way of life. They lived closer to fear than we do, and so they needed this technique like we need food and water. You need it too, though the predators are different now. Bills, deadlines, loneliness, noise, they gnaw as sharply as lions once did. Practice, and you will remember. Imagine yourself doing it. You sit, you breathe, your heart slows. You clap your hands, steady, steady, until rhythm carries you. Your body sways, thoughts dissolve. You close your eyes, darkness expands. A memory surfaces, your childhood, long buried. Or an idea, clear, strong, as if gifted from outside you. Then you return. You write it, shape it, live it. This is not magic. This is not myth. This is the inheritance of every human being. A technique carved into your nervous system by millions of years of survival. It does not belong to religion. It does not belong to culture. It belongs to you, and the more you practice, the deeper it goes. The hidden layers open slowly, like stone doors in an ancient temple. At first you see fragments, later you see patterns. Eventually, you may see the whole architecture of your mind laid bare before you. And when you do, you will know why our ancestors guarded this technique as sacred. Do not underestimate it. Breath alone can heal. Rhythm alone can guide. Silence alone can reveal. But together they do more. They unlock. They awaken. They give you access to yourself, not the shallow self that scrolls and worries and frets, but the vast self beneath it all. You are not just flesh. You are not just thought. You are a river of breath, rhythm, silence, return. You are the continuation of the elder by the fire, the mother in the cave, the hunter in the tall grass. Their technique is your technique. Their survival is your awakening. Now you know the steps, and in the next part, you will discover what happens when you dive deeper, when practice is not a single session, but a path. That is where the visions grow sharper. That is where memory becomes revelation. That is where you will truly descend into the hidden layers of your mind. You have walked through the first doors. You have tasted the shift that comes from breath, rhythm, silence, and return. But those were only beginnings, only the first cracks in the surface. The deeper layers of your mind do not reveal themselves all at once. They open slowly, like caves hidden in the earth, like roots winding downward, one chamber leading to another. When you practice once, you feel calm. When you practice twice, you feel focus. But when you practice every day, when you return to the ancient technique again and again, something changes. You do not just calm your fear. You begin to unlock what was buried. Imagine it. You sit in the rhythm again, breath steady, body swaying, the silence wrapping around you. At first, nothing. Then a flicker. A memory you had forgotten, rising like a face in the mist. You see yourself as a child, small, unafraid, holding something in your hand. A toy, a stone, a moment. It comes not as a thought, but as a vision, as if projected from some hidden archive inside you. You had not thought of it for decades, yet here it is, clear as firelight. This is the first sign. The hidden layers are opening. At first, they give you memory. Buried, forgotten, locked away. The brain does not throw anything away. It only hides it. And when you breathe, when you follow rhythm, when you sink into silence, the locks begin to loosen. Your hippocampus, that ancient keeper of memory, begins to fire differently. Fragments return, and with them, emotions you thought were lost. Sometimes it is beautiful. Sometimes it is painful, but both are treasure. The pain, too, is part of you. When you let it rise, when you see it, you begin to heal. That is why the ancients used this technique not only for survival, but for healing. They knew that unspoken grief could cripple a tribe as surely as hunger. And so they returned, night after night, to let the hidden rise. And then something else begins. Not memory, not past. Something new. As you sit longer in practice, you notice images forming that do not belong to your life. Symbols, patterns, an animal that stares back at you in vision, a river winding across an endless plain, a set of eyes watching from darkness. These are not random. These are archetypes, shapes that live in every mind. Modern psychology calls them the collective unconscious. Neuroscience calls them symbolic integration of neural patterns. But the ancients did not need terms. They knew these images had power. They carried them back to the fire, carved them into stone, painted them on cave walls. You will see them too. And when you do, they will guide you, not with words, but with presence. The deeper you go, the more these visions sharpen. It feels at first like dreaming while awake, but stronger, clearer, as if the dream is alive and watching you. Do not fear it. Do not dismiss it. This is your hidden self speaking in the oldest language, the language of image and symbol. When you return, write what you saw. Draw it, embody it. The ancients danced these symbols into being. You must anchor them too. That is how they change you. But there is more. With practice, the technique does not only unlock memory or vision, it unlocks ability. You begin to notice you can hold focus longer than before. You feel creativity spilling out in unexpected ways. Solutions, insights, ideas that seem to come from nowhere. Your relationships shift. You respond with more patience, more clarity. Your fear does not grip you so tightly. Your anger does not rule you. You begin to walk with the same calm the elder once showed by the fire. This is not coincidence. The brain, when trained through these states, begins to rewire itself. The default mode network, the system responsible for your restless chatter, quiets. New connections form between different regions. Memory linking to imagination, logic linking to intuition. Modern scans show this, but the ancients lived it. They became sharper hunters, wiser leaders, more resilient mothers. You can become the same in your world, no matter the predators you face. And yet, deeper still, another layer waits. The longer you sit in silence, the more you realize the boundaries of yourself begin to blur. You no longer feel your body. You no longer feel where you end and the air begins. There is only breath, only rhythm, only the vastness of awareness. At first, it is frightening. Who are you if you are not your body, your name, your story? But if you surrender, you discover something larger. The ancients called this union with spirit, with ancestors, with the earth itself. Today, some call it ego dissolution, but words do not capture it. It is the felt sense that you are more than yourself, that you are part of something infinite. And when you return from this state, you are never quite the same, but be warned. This depth is powerful. It can shake you. Some who enter without guidance feel lost. That is why the ancients always returned to the tribe, always shared, always anchored their visions in story and ritual. You must do the same. Do not chase visions for their own sake. Do not dissolve into them. Return, share, integrate. Otherwise, the hidden layers overwhelm and you lose balance. If you practice consistently, you will notice stages unfolding over weeks, months, years. First, calm, breath-easing fear. Then memory, the hidden past resurfacing. Then vision, archetypes and symbols guiding you. Then transformation, creativity, resilience, focus shaping your waking life. And finally, transcendence, the sense that you are not separate, that you are more than you imagined. This is the path. This is what the ancients discovered by firelight, by cave, by rhythm. They carried it as survival. You can carry it as awakening. And remember, you do not need anything external. Not tools, not devices, not substances. Your body is the instrument, your breath the key, your rhythm the drum, your silence the cave. It has always been this way. The hidden layers of your mind are not locked by complexity. They are locked by forgetfulness. You forgot the technique. Now you remember. And remembering changes everything. Picture it again. The elder by the fire. Silver hair glowing in flame, lungs slow and steady, eyes closed. The tribe watching, breathing with him, swaying, entering the state together. In that moment, survival was not just claws and teeth, but mind and spirit. That same power is in you. You carry the same lungs, the same brain, the same nervous system, the same doorway. Practice, return, integrate, and watch as the hidden layers open. Watch as your life shifts, not with sudden miracles, but with steady awakening. Fear loosens, creativity blossoms, wisdom emerges. You begin to live not as a fragmented self, but as a whole one. And when you touch that wholeness, even briefly, you will know why our ancestors carried this technique across millennia. It was not just survival. It was the beginning of becoming human, and the journey is not over. The ancients did not stop at unlocking the hidden mind. They found ways to bring it back into the tribe, into daily life, into decisions and relationships and work. That is where the true transformation lies. That is what comes next. You have descended into the hidden layers of your mind. You have felt the breath slow, the rhythm rise, the silence deepen, the visions arrive. You have touched memory. You have seen symbols. You have glimpsed the vastness beyond yourself. But the journey is not finished. Because all of this means little if it stays locked inside you. The ancients knew this. They knew the danger of visions without grounding. A hunter could dream of prey, but if he did not carry that dream into the hunt, the tribe starved. A mother could see the storm before it came, but if she did not prepare, her child would die of cold. An elder could glimpse wisdom in the dark, but if he did not share it, the tribe walked blind into danger. The ancient technique was not just about unlocking the mind. It was about bringing what you found back into the world. Integration, transformation, power made practical. And this is the final stage. When you rise from practice, when you open your eyes, when the rhythm fades and silence breaks, you must anchor what you experienced. You must carry it into your body, your words, your actions. Otherwise, it drifts away like smoke, vanishing with the morning light. How do you do this? The same way our ancestors did, with ritual, with story, with movement, with creation. Imagine the cave wall painted with ochre, with black soot, with the red of crushed stone, animals, symbols, handprints reaching across time. These were not decorations. They were anchors, a way of fixing the vision into the waking world. The hunter saw the bison in trance, then painted it in firelight, and by doing so, brought the vision into reality. You can do the same after practice right. Not as a chore, not as a diary, but as ritual. Place the words on paper before they fade. Describe what you felt, what you saw, what you heard, even if it makes no sense, even if it is fragments. This is your cave wall. This is how you keep the vision alive. But do not stop at words. Draw. Even if you cannot draw, mark the page with lines, shapes, colors. Let the symbol take form. Maybe you saw an animal. Maybe you saw water. Maybe you saw nothing but light. Put it down, anchor it, and then move. The ancients danced their visions. They stamped them into earth, they sang them into air. You can do the same. Move your body after practice, not with thought, but with instinct. Let the vision move through you. Let it become real in your muscles, in your breath. This grounds the experience, prevents it from floating away. This is the first way to integrate. Expression, the second way, is application. The visions are not only for beauty, they are for guidance. When a memory surfaces, ask, what does it teach me now? When a symbol appears, ask, what does it point toward in my life? When creativity flows, ask, how do I carry this into action? For example, a hunter saw a river in vision and later found water. You may see an image of breaking chains. That is not random. It is pointing you toward something in your life you must free yourself from. Maybe it is a job. Maybe it is a relationship. Maybe it is an old belief. Integration means listening to the symbol, translating it into action. Do not worship the vision. Live it. The third way is ritual. The ancients lived in cycles. They repeated, they returned, they marked transitions with fire and song. You can do the same in modern form. Choose a time of day for practice. Morning, before the world grabs you, or night before you sleep. Make it consistent. Light a candle, play a steady rhythm, breathe. By repeating, you build a ritual, and ritual builds strength. You may think the power lies in the vision itself, but truly the power lies in what you do after. And here is the danger. Many today chase visions for their own sake. They seek the strange, the mystical, the dramatic. But if you do not integrate, it becomes a hollow pursuit, a distraction. You lose grounding. The ancients knew this danger well. That is why they always returned to the tribe, always anchored in firelight, always shared. You must do the same. Share your insights. Tell someone you trust what you felt, what you saw. Or if you cannot, tell it to the page, to the air, to the earth. Make it real outside your mind. That act transforms you, and then live it. If the vision told you to slow down, then slow down. If the vision showed you water, find water. Drink more, cleanse, reconnect. If the vision gave you courage, then act with courage in your waking life. Integration is the bridge between hidden layers and daily life. Without it, the technique is only escape. With it, the technique becomes power. Now imagine this practiced over weeks, months, years. Each breath opening calm, each rhythm unlocking vision, each silence bringing symbols, each return anchoring transformation. Slowly, your life reshapes. Your patterns shift. You no longer react with panic. You respond with presence. You no longer feel cut off. You feel connected, guided. Creativity flows where it was once blocked. Intuition speaks where there was once only noise. This is not fantasy. It is the natural outcome of training your mind through the ancient technique and integrating what arises. The ancients did not call it enlightenment. They did not call it therapy. They did not call it meditation. They called it survival. And survival meant living in alignment with both the outer world and the inner one. When you integrate, you are doing the same. And here is something more. Integration does not just transform you. It transforms those around you. When you practice, when you anchor calm, when you embody vision, others feel it. Just as the tribe felt the elder's steadiness by the fire, so too will those around you feel your presence. Your children, your friends, your partners, your community. This is how the practice spreads. Not through teaching, but through being. That is the legacy. That is the chain unbroken. So now, you know the full path. Breath to enter, rhythm to loosen, silence to descend, return to integrate. And through repetition, through anchoring, through ritual and application, the hidden layers open, not as escape, but as power, as healing, as transformation. This is the ancient technique, passed from the savannah to the cave, from the cave to the temple, from the temple to your breath right now. It has survived because it works. It has survived because it is human, and now it is yours. Close your eyes. Breathe. Begin again. Carry it forward. You are the elder now. You are the fire bearer. The hidden layers are no longer hidden. The ancient technique has returned.